Oh, here we go. Back again. On a Wednesday. So, here's the deal. I just had a dermatologist appointment. And, luckily for me, a dermatologist office is a half hour away from my house. So I was listening to podcasts on the way down, but because the drive was so long and I only had half a podcast to listen to, I don't have anything to listen to on the way back up, and I'm not really in a music type of mood. Not really like anything serious, and I've been in a music mood for like months. But there's nothing I have in my car or on my phone right now that I really want to listen to. I kind of just want to have a conversation. Podcasts are good for feeling like you're in a conversation that you're not actually having. And so is talking to yourself. So I decided, why not do a little driving with Joe? I haven't done one since this summer. I haven't posted one since this summer. Still got two sitting in my email, just waiting for me to upload them. But nobody listens to them, so it doesn't matter if I post them or not. Anyway, so let's do a quick update since the summer. What's new? Well, I am now single. That's right, ladies. It was a mutual thing. I'm still friends with my former girlfriend. She's still a good person. What else is new? I'm down a little over 25 pounds. I have lost some weight. The diet and exercise have been going well. I am currently in a production of the Rocky Horror Show. We have 6 more performances. 3 this weekend, 3 next weekend. What else? What else is new? Got a PS4. Been playing some Last of Us lately. Great game. Yeah, that's about it. Recently saved my imaginary fiance in Dungeons and Dragons. That was exciting. Oh man, that's beautiful. See, I don't mind the half-hour drive. When I have to do it in the summer, it kind of sucks. There's really nothing to look at. It's just road. But now it's fall, and I'm not typically one of these, oh, let's go for a drive, the leaves are changing type of people. But man, this is beautiful today. It's 61 degrees currently. On Wednesday, October 21st, Marty McFly should be arriving any second. Man, that sounded like a real, news anchory weatherman type. It is 61 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Beautiful day. But yeah, the trees are just like, man, it is good to be alive today. I will say that. It is a good day to be alive. So yeah. I still do not have a video camera. So if this gets uploaded, which it probably won't, it's just going to be another static image. And not like it'll matter. Because nobody's going to listen to it anyway. The last one got like 6 views, and the one before that got like 12. So I really just do this for me. And I mean, why else do anything in life if not for yourself? You know, always be happy. ABH. There was a lot of cops out this morning when I made my initial drive down. And, made me, think. Because I was busting the speed limit. And the cop didn't really do anything. And then I realized we're not, like, that close. Well, I guess we're kind of close to the end of the month. We got, like, 10 days left. So typically this is the time when, when cops start cracking down, passing out more tickets. Because they got their, they got their number that they're supposed to hit to build city revenue and whatnot, so they got to pass out a certain number of tickets, yada, yada, yada. Oh, there's a deer. I'm telling you, man, there's really nothing out this way, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Higganum. That's where I'm driving past now. Higganum, Connecticut. It's a good name for a town. God, what should I talk about? I always talk about not knowing what to talk about, and I feel like that's why people don't listen to this. That and because nobody gives a shit about what I have to say. Wow, 802. This guy's license plate is 802. I've seen 4-number license plates. I've never seen a 3. Never seen a 3. Hey, lady, what are you doing? Why are you getting out of your car in the middle of the highway? That's odd. Man, I haven't been to the movies lately, and I really want to go. And my current projected date for the next time I'll be at the movies is December 17th for Star Wars Episode 7. They just released that new trailer on Monday. Oh man, that film is going to blow me away. I can already feel it. And I'm afraid a little bit. Because I'm afraid it's so hyped up in my mind that it's not going to be as good as I think it is. But at the same time, this movie is doing something that not a ton of movies do. And that's the fact that I have no idea what I'm getting into in this movie. The story, what the characters are doing, why they're doing what they're doing, I have no clue what this movie is about, and it makes me so excited. Because there are movies like Terminator Genisys that the first trailer they released, and I thought they already revealed the biggest spoiler, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Terminator Genisys, but if you watched any of the trailers, I'm not going to be spoiling anything. In the first trailer, they reveal that it's some sort of alternate timeline where someone has sent a Terminator back in time to kill Sarah Connor when she's a child, and another person sends another Terminator back in time to stop that from happening, and she is then raised by a Terminator to become this super sexy killing machine played by Emilia Clarke. I don't give a shit what people say about her performance. I will watch Emilia Clarke do anything because good God, goddamn. So they reveal that in the first trailer, that it's like some weird timeline where Sarah Connor is not the... Well, she's essentially the badass that she became in Terminator 2, and the exact opposite of what she was in the original Terminator. But then they release another trailer where they not only reveal that John Connor himself has come to the past. John Connor has come to the past. And he's a Terminator. He's some kind of weird metal dust Terminator. It's like a less cool version of the T-1000 Liquid Terminator. He's made of dust. And he can be affected by MRI MRI machines. I always get confused with ATM because you say ATM and not ATM machine because then it's machine. But MRI, you can call it an MRI machine. But like magnets fuck up this new weird Terminator thing that John Connor has turned into. And it's like, I went and I saw that movie, and I knew everything, all the big things that were going to happen. And I didn't give a shit, because it was just like, it was a dumb, fun time at the movies, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. But there's something to be said about being able to go into a movie completely blind, having no idea what's going on. Like, that's the reason that I fell in love with the movie It Follows this summer. Because going in, I had no clue. What that movie was. I just heard this is one of the best modern horror movies of all time. If you are a fan of the horror genre, go see this movie. And I was like, I'm a fan of the horror genre. And I saw it, and it blew my freaking mind. Because I was like, holy balls, what the fuck? Like, it was just like going in and knowing nothing. And you would think with a movie like Star Wars, Episode 7. So there's 6 other movies and 2 television shows now in canon, and a bunch of books in canon now. You would think you would know something. But, and they released, the new poster, and they released, hey, truck, fuck you piece of shit. Anyway, sorry about that. They released, 3 trailers, multiple posters, and you can kind of figure out some of the big set pieces in the movie. Like, they've shown probably what'll be the major lightsaber fight of the movie. And it's going back to what I think was, one of the things that I loved about the original trilogy that they kind of got away from the prequels was there's these this huge, devastatingly evil bad guy and the plucky hero who, like, doesn't really know what the fuck he's getting into, and it looks like it's going to be one of those lightsaber battles. And, it's just like, I'm so ready to find out what this movie is about, because we've seen set pieces and we've seen battles that we know are going to happen in the movie. We don't know what connects them or why they're happening or like anything about any of the characters. We don't know who's good and who's bad. We assume we know who the good guys are because, you know, we see the new characters hanging out with Han, you know, and then we see this, like, guy in all black and a mask with a red lightsaber, and we're like, okay, obviously he's the bad guy, and obviously these other people are the good guys, and they're going to be fighting this bad guy. But we don't know. We have no idea no one other than, you know, the people who worked on the movie and a few select people who were probably, you know, given some sort of advanced screening, or, like, you know, people who are allowed to visit the set and whatnot, have any idea what's actually happening in the movie. And that makes me more excited than anything else, is the fact that I have no clue what the story is going to be. And I really don't understand why more movies don't try to do that. Why more movies... Like, I understand. You want to put big, badass things in your trailer because that's what sells tickets. When you market your movie, you want to put the coolest shit in the trailer. But you don't want to put all the cool shit in the trailer, you know? Like, for example, a movie that I think did it well, and that I really enjoy, that people seem to be like, why the fuck do you like this movie? Was the A-Team movie that came out in, like, 2010 or whatever. That movie is hysterical and awesome. And, like, really well cast and acted. And they did this thing where in the trailer, one of the big dumb moments in the movie that everybody makes fun of is they drop a tank out of a plane and then they fire the tank in order to steer it through the air. Which we all know wouldn't work. Not to the extent that it does in the movie, at the very least. And that's a really badass moment of the movie. But it's not the most badass moment of the movie. Because that happens at the end. The climax of the film. And that's not the climax of the film. Whereas there are other movies like Charlie's Angels 2, where they put essentially the entire opening sequence of the movie as the trailer. And the entire opening sequence of that movie is probably the coolest part of that movie. And also, you know, a lot of people, gave that movie shit. That's just a fun movie to sit down and watch. Both the Charlie's Angels movies are just fun movies to sit down and watch. If you're looking for, mental stimulation, you shouldn't be watching Charlie's Angels or Charlie's Angels 2 Full Throttle. That's stupid. So I don't understand, movie critics in general being like, this is a bad movie. Nothing happens. It's all just like, you sit down and you watch people shooting guns and explosions and then there's boobs and blah, blah, blah. But what was the message of the film? Not every movie needs a goddamn message. Sometimes you just want to watch a movie. Sometimes you just want to sit there and be entertained. And, it just annoys me that, and I shouldn't judge, because, I look for deeper meanings and stuff all the time, which is why my friend Jim gives me shit for thinking about why Harley Quinn's hair is dyed blue and pink. I don't have a problem with it being dyed blue and pink. I just decided to come up with, different story reasons as to why she might do it. Because I like to come up with stories, and I like to come up with reasons, and I enjoy making some kind of logical leap. And in the movie, they probably won't explain it. And you get to come up with whatever reason you want to come up with. And it doesn't really matter what color her hair is dyed or why it's dyed that way. But that's just the kind of person I am, and I like to do things like that. But when I sat down and I watched the A-Team movie, I didn't sit down and think to myself, boy, this movie is really gonna, make me think and give me a profound message. I thought, man, I really like the A-Team TV show. I really like the actors in this movie. Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper. I'll just sit down and I'll watch this movie. The trailers looked fun. It seemed like a good summer blockbuster type film. And you know what? It was! It's a really enjoyable movie if you just sit down and watch it to be entertained and not for, not to be some kind of douche looking to fucking piss people off with your stupid fucking opinions. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit what other people think about movies. We all just care what we think about movies. But for some reason, we have to make people believe that we're right about movies and that our opinions are the right ones to have about movies. Which is why when I talk about, a bad movie that I really enjoy, I'll say things like, I know I'm wrong, but here's why I enjoy this movie. But I'm not really wrong, because I'm allowed to enjoy whatever the fuck I want to enjoy, as are you. And if you want to make fun of me for enjoying what I enjoy, then you're a douche. But I make fun of people for enjoying what they enjoy, so I'm also a douche. We're all just douchebags that like to think that we're right all the time when we're not. Because we literally can't be right about movies. Even, the big, everybody loves these movies. It's still an opinion about the movie. Someone could come up to me and say, I don't like Star Wars. Or come up to me and say, I don't like The Godfather. And for some reason with movies like that, we are allowed and entitled to say, well, you're wrong, because everybody loves these movies. But they're not wrong. someone can make an argument for me as to why they don't enjoy The Godfather, and it's not going to make me enjoy The Godfather any less. It's not going to make me say, you know what, you're right, The Godfather is a bad movie, because it's not a bad movie. For me. And for them, they might have some reason that they don't enjoy it, and that's totally fine. We're all allowed to have our own opinions on what we find entertaining. You know, and there are universally bad movies that everybody, like, if you like those movies, people will say you're wrong. Like, I make an argument for Star Wars Episode 2 all the time. I really do enjoy Star Wars Episode 2, and Star Wars Episode 2 is the movie that everyone says is the worst of the Star Wars franchise. And there are parts of that movie, like almost every time Hayden Christensen is on screen. And that's not because of his performance, it's because of the direction that he was given. Hayden Christensen is not a terrible actor. You know, and he does what he's supposed to do with the script that he was given and the direction that he was given. And there are some moments, even in that movie, where he shows that he can be a fine actor. But Star Wars Episode 2 is one of those movies where people are just like, oh, you remember when Hayden Christensen was like, I don't like sand? And it's like, yeah, but remember the entire Obi-Wan storyline of that movie, where he's just like this kind of like 1920s noir detective, like finding clues and investigating shit, and he discovers the clone army of Kamino, and he goes to his seedy underworld contact and, you know, tries to track down a bounty hunter, and he gets captured by Count Dooku, and like the entire Obi-Wan storyline of that movie is fucking awesome. And people just like forget about it because they're just like, oh, remember that time Hayden Christensen was like, oh, no, Padme, I love you so much that it hurts and hurts. Fuck you. Like, there are shitty parts of every good movie. Well, not every good movie. But there are reasons that people could not like any movie out there. And you can make your argument to me as to why a movie is good or bad, and that's fine. It's not going to change my opinion of the movie because it is, in fact, my opinion. So, I'm at my house now. That really sped the drive along. All right. Well, it has been almost a half hour. And, that was a good time. I like that. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys at some point. If this gets put out, then hope you enjoyed it. All right. Bye.